follow-up. You said that it's no accident that a lot of these countries were recently under tyranny and oppression. They escaped tyranny and oppression. Do you think countries like France have forgotten what it's like to live under tyranny and oppression?
I think countries in Eastern Europe that are so supportive of this effort remember what it was like to have lived under tyranny and oppression, and that's one of the reasons they have been so stalwart and standing shoulder to shoulder on behalf of the cause of freedom. They knew what it was like to live under the thumb of others. They see in the Iraqi people a history that they themselves suffered through recently, and from that is a reason that their support is so strong for this endeavor. The President remembers fondly going to the streets of, going to Romania, for example, and on the streets of Romania were hundreds of thousands of Romanians cheering the United States of America and cheering the message of President Bush when he went there. The President will never forget that.
Ari, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but the President last night took the opportunity to warn the public that this conflict may take a little bit longer than has been predicted. I wanted to know what moved him to ask that, since the administration has made no predictions, and how long does he think the public's perception of this conflict will last?
Well, again, the President did think it was important to say to the country that we do not know what the duration of this will be. We do not know how hard it will be, but he wants to prepare the country for the possibility. We hope it will not be the case, but the President wants to prepare the country for the possibility that this may be longer and harder than some have suggested. That's why the President said it.
Well, who has suggested that it will be quick and easy that he was referring to assuage the feelings of the public?
I think there are any number of analysts, again, who have their own opinions and are free to express them. Bob?
Ari, over the last few days, there were several steps leading up to this moment. Obviously, the President was in the Azores. He gave Saddam the 48-hour deadline Monday night. He notified Congress on Tuesday. At what point in this process did the President become convinced that all options short of war had actually been exhausted?
From the Iraqi side,
you know, I think that
we haven't seen an impact.
The process began for the President when the will of the United Nations was not followed by Saddam Hussein, and that played itself out over a considerable period of time. The fact of the matter is that if Saddam Hussein had wanted to disarm, he would have disarmed on the first day the inspectors got to Iraq by showing them and providing them the weapons that he had. Instead, he engaged in a game of hide-and-seek, hiding the weapons that he had, calling the weapons that he has, such as the El-Samud 2 missiles, if you remember in that same interview that he carried out with CBS. He denied in that interview that he had weapons that violated the United Nations resolutions prohibiting weapons of ballistic missiles in excess of 150 kilometers. So throughout that period, the President saw that Saddam Hussein was not complying, that Saddam Hussein was continuing to possess the arms that he had. That led over time to the period that it's brought us to now. I think that the chances grew slimmer and slimmer in the President's mind that this could be resolved peacefully the more Saddam Hussein defied the United Nations. The final decisions were made as plans were developed, of course, as you know. I think the final decisions, of course, to use force were made only recently.
Was there a point where the President said, that's it, we have nothing left?
There was really no one sharp demarcation. It was the process of watching Saddam Hussein defy the United Nations. Ron?
Okay. Ari, since this issue is going to come up probably repeatedly until Saddam's fate is known, why do you see questions about that as operational when getting rid of him one way or the other is the President's ultimate goal?
Right. And again, I want to express my sympathy to the White House press corps. I understand your desire to get the operational, even at the most important aspects, answered. Yeah, no, I'm going to give you the answer to that. The fact of the matter is, whether a target is a Secretary of
As we listen to Ari Fleischer, you can see in the picture to the right of your screen that Baghdad skyline is once again lighting up with what appears to be anti-aircraft artillery fire. Those would be the